hiking on the Clark Trail, one of my favorite places to hike. It's a quick, easy 5-miler, real close to St. Louis. You can see I got the chest pack. There's been a lot of questions regarding how it rides with the water bottle full, and honestly it's not too bad. I got it cinched up pretty tight here, and I don't really feel much of the excess weight from the water on the front. It's not like it's weighing me down or anything like that. It does move a little bit when you walk, and you'll get a little bit of water sloshing sound as the water goes down inside my bottle there. I got the guy at 38 ounce, but you can see behind me this is the Missouri River, and then over in that direction on the other side of the river is one of the spots where Lewis and Clark camped out on the way out on their trip when they left from St. Charles. Now further up this direction here, going west, is a park called Klondike, and they got a big bluff that you can see the power plant, and also there was a campsite there as well. So we're just kind of walking. I'm trying out this new little hoodie I got. It is a Theramar Ecolator 2, Ecolator 3 actually. It's their warmest one. It's sort of a poor man's alternative to a let's say an R1 or a Capilina 4 hoodie by Patagonia. This was about a third of the cost, and so far it's doing pretty good. It's keeping me warm, but I'm not getting too sweaty, so it's breathable. I got, you know, the buff and the hat. It is about 32 degrees today, and there's a little bit of wind, so not how much though. A little bit in the Duluth pack, just a tarp, and I mainly brought it along in case I needed to shed layers. I could have something to carry it with. That's one thing. Just going with the chest pack, you have to figure out where you're going to put your layers, especially in colder weather. But like I said, so far it's not working too bad. I think I may need to make the straps here a little longer. This buckle is kind of resting right here on my collarbone. It's not too tight, so it's not too much of an irritation, but I may need to kind of rethink this, or perhaps put a little padded flap or something underneath it. But that's why we come out here and test this stuff, to figure it out. But it's cloudy and gloomy, and I'm going to keep walking. We'll see how hot I get. Alright, we are about 2¼ miles in, and getting close to halfway. This is the Missouri River, as I mentioned before, and way off in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, right there is the a power plant of some sort. Big smokestacks ruining my picturesque view. Damn it. Alright, but I digress. I'm up here on the bluff, and there is the Katy Trail down there. It's pretty warm. I figured I'm shedding some layers here. I figured I'd kind of show you what I got going on. So one thing about the chest pack is it will add a little bit of heat in the front, and with that water bottle holder on the front, it also makes it a lot difficult to zip up any layers. So definitely keep that in mind if you're thinking about going this route. It worked out all right though, because if your layer is unzipped, you get a little bit of venting, and then the chest pack itself will hold in some heat in the front, so that works out. But I'm dropping the hat and the gloves and the buff. Typically I'll wear this around my neck. It's really good at heating you up, even though your head may be exposed, so I take my hat off, but I could leave my buff around my neck, and it's going to help warm up my blood. Typically I'll start with the wool liners. These are the military surplus ones. They're super cheap. They're breathable enough, and you can flip them inside out, switch hands if they get a little wet. But they do good as far as being breathable. Now I do have a pair of Under Armour running gloves that I may throw on if it's going to be super duper windy and cold. And if it's going to be really cold and wet, on top of this I'll throw on some Mount Laurel rain mitts. Let me show you those real quick. And I think I've shown this before. This is basically just a sort of an over mitt with a little shock cord adjustment here. These work really well in the rain, and they're going to work well for wind. They will get a little sweaty in there possibly, but I'd rather have a little sweaty hands than freezing digits. So that is what I'll throw on top. And I also have a very large pair of Columbia Bugaboo gloves that I could throw on at camp and things like that, but I wouldn't hike wearing those. Coast Guard barge, looks like they're picking up some buoys. I saw one earlier. I don't know if you can see it. It's right down at the end of this branch right here. We're going to zoom in. It's going to get a little grainy. They got a winch up there, and they're pulling it up. So the guy hooks it, gets it on the winch line, and then they pull it up. It's like deadliest catch out here. The things you find out in the wild. That's pretty cool to see. So as far as layering on myself goes, I typically I'll just wear a pair of synthetic boxers and the pants. This year I'm using the Taclite Pros from 511, and they're working real nice. I like them. They're a little warmer in the summer, but they're definitely a lot more durable than the Columbia Silver Ridge. Also on my top, I've got a merino wool base layer. It's a quarter zip, and it has these wonderful little thumb loops. I highly advise that on a base layer. I think that is a real useful item. The base layer itself is just some generic brand. I bought it at Cabela's. It's APX or something like that, and it works pretty decent. On top of that, I'll either wear this Terramar Ecolator 3, or I'll toss on my Patagonia Houdini, which is a wind shirt. And the combination of the base layer and the wind shirt work really well. If it's raining, before I had the chest pack, I would typically put on, my raincoat, which is a Marmot Super Mica. But now that I have the chest pack, I'm carrying a poncho. I'm just carrying a Mill Surplus poncho right now, just to see how I like it. And going forward, I may have to look at a lighter weight poncho. But those things are durable. They're pretty bomb-proof. So that would take care of any sort of rain problems. But going into the winter here, it's going to be more of the sleet and the freezing rain that I need to worry about. The snow, not so much. The Patagonia has a little bit of a water coating on it, so that works out well. On top of that, I've just got a JCPenney down jacket I can slap on. And, if it's really cold, I'll bring some Lon Johns. I've got some merino wool ones that I can stick on, and a few other synthetic layers that are sort of a medium weight that, when I get to camp, I'll toss on, but I would never be hiking with those. This is just to give you an idea of the size of the Houdini. It packs up into one of its own pockets there. This is pretty expensive. You could probably get a cheaper thing. Look at like Salvation Army and things like that for running jackets. But this wind shirt, I'll tell you what, it was a game changer for me. I mean, it definitely changed the way that I would layer and stuff, and it works real well. Like I said, this is the Patagonia Houdini. It's pretty expensive, but it's small and it works real well. I definitely advise it. I mean, it fits in a pocket, so it's a good addition to your kit there. And I've got the Duluth pack as well, like I said, just to kind of carry the insulation. I've got my little tarp kit in there and stuff like that. I mean, it's not really full of much, but it's all working well. Like I said, the chest pack, it's feeling all right. So we're just gonna keep cruising, and I'll check in towards the end. This is the third orphaned hat or glove that I have found on the trail so far. A lot of trail runners on this, so they don't keep track of their stuff, I think, the way the hikers do. But if you're taking your hat off, put it in your pack, put it in the cargo pocket. Make sure it's all the way in the cargo pocket and the cargo pocket is closed. That way you do not lose your hat, because that could be extremely important later on down the road, or the trail in this case. Alright, we just finished the last large hill, I believe, I hope, and we're headed back. You can probably hear the road in the background. We're about a half mile, maybe 3/4 left to go. Making good headway. So far I'm pretty happy with the water bottle on the front. Once again, there's that side shot. It does stick out a little bit, and but it doesn't seem to bother me. I don't get any pulling up here. You can see that it's pretty loose. I do need to make the back piece a little bit longer, I know that, just to make sure that it fits underneath my arms a little bit better. I just don't know where else you would put the water bottle. On the bushcraft forums, it was mentioned, and it's something that I thought of too, was to take the molly part and make it a little longer down the torso and mount the water bottle horizontally underneath here. And I feel that one, it'd make it a bit too long in the chest area, and it might make it difficult to get this open. I don't know, something to try, something to think about. Another option would be to have the water bottle attached to a belt, you know, but then you've got the weight of a liter of water and everything that's in the belt pouch, or in the water pouch, weighing down on your belt. And I've got the 38-ounce Guyot bottle. I've got my 450s Tokes cup in here, and then in the front I've got a full stove. I've got my Esbit stove and fuel. So I mean, like, it's a nice self-contained little unit. I really like this pouch, so I'd like to, you know, retain the use of it. So I don't know, things to try. So, you know, the Ecolator, you can see that I've got the sleeves rolled up. This is actually working out pretty good. I'm a little sweaty, but I sweat all the time. Doesn't matter if it's 12 degrees. When I hike, I sweat. That's just life. I know old Les Stroud, he says you sweat, you die in the winter. And that's true, but, you know, I can't move slow enough not to sweat. It's just the way it is. So the breathability, though, of this is working out pretty good. I'm not really chilled. I have a little chill on my forearms, but not too bad. And I always carry camp clothes. I always carry another, you know, base layer t-shirt, long underwear, something that I can change into that I can sleep with too. And I always carry that in a dry bag. I didn't obviously carry it today, but in theory, it's always in some sort of dry bag in my pack. That way when I get to camp, I have dry clothes to put on. And if you have, you know, damp clothes, you can bring them into your sleeping bag at night and work to dry them out. That can help. But so the next thing on this is we use a full pack. I'll load up my circuit and go out. I want to do some tarp shelter experiments with my Bushcraft USA 10x12. So that is going to be the next adventure. So look forward to that. And until the next time, remember that life is an adventure. So get out and have one. And thanks for watching.